Episode 2. Ruffled Nights.
Welcome back to A Closer Look with your boy Midartz. Today is episode 2. Let's do it. We are here with one of my favorite paintings. This painting is entitled Ruffled Nights. Oh yeah, this is one of my favorite paintings. Let's start off with the dimensions. The dimensions of this painting, let's move this camera up a little bit so you can get the full, there we go, the full picture right there. Can you guys see? The full display right there. There you go. Oh yeah, it's your boy. Let's start. Now, these dimensions are 24 by 36. This is a gallery wrap canvas. 24 by 36 is not my favorite canvas to work on. It's actually one of my least favorite to work on. Why? I don't know. I'm not really too fond of the width length ratio. It's kind of like weird long to me, but I have done quite a few paintings in this one. I have some really good ones, but this is probably the masterpiece of the 24 by 36. My favorites are 30 by 40 and 36 by 36, 36 by 48. I prefer those size canvases over 24 by 36 because I for some odd reason I don't like the width to length ratio, but I did my thing on this one, I must say. So I feel like this is one of my masterpieces. As you see, we have it in one of these antique gold frames that really makes it stand out. So yes. Now let's go into some detail of the actual painting, what we got going on here. Let me come over here. Can you guys see? All right, we cool right here. See, I'm representing DMX, rest in peace, the legend, DMX, you already know, bio, New York shit. All right, boom. This painting, first before we get into the actual colors, this painting was made October 11th. Oh, excuse me, sorry. This painting was made August 11th, 2024. All my paintings have my signature in the corner with the gold pen, so you already know how we do. Gold pen, date. Now, this painting consists of spray paint, acrylics, oils, and oil pastel sticks. This is a mixed media painting, predominantly acrylic and oils. But yes, there's some spray paint in there, some blue spray paint, which I'm going to point out to in a second. We got some pastel sticks, and we have some gold. We have the gold oil paint, which the crown is made from. Let's get a closer look. Let me grab the camera. Okay, we are right here. A closer look with Ruffled Nights. Now, let's start from the bottom. Over here, as you see, we have the feet, right? Let's put the little light up on it a little brighter. Okay, yeah. You see we have his feet, his claws. These feet are of oil pastel, like that red, brownish oil pastel stick, mixed in with some black oils and acrylics. And around it is some white oils in the background of some white acrylic. We have a touch of yellow at the bottom right here, as you see. Little touches of yellow. It looked like he's standing on some kind of ledge. As you can see, like the blacks. There's some black acrylic over here. In this area over here. Right here. This is black acrylic. Now, as you look up, you see like this blue. And you see like this part right here, this blue right here. This is spray paint. This is spray paint. This is like a sky blue spray paint. As you can see, like it leaves that texture that the spray paint leaves, almost like a clouded end. That spray paint. Then we have the midnight. It's like a purplish midnight bluish look right here. This is acrylic. That's an acrylic paint right there. And that blue, well, actually, that's like a midnight purple. And then over here on the other side, you have like a midnight blue. So it's like a purple over here with the spray paint blue. And then you have the midnight blue, which is kind of purple too. They're not the same. They look a little bit the same, but they're not. As you see, as I bring the camera back, you see they're not the same. So you have two different blues, but see that midnight purple is up here as well. You can't really capture it with this camera, maybe the lighting, but they're totally different. Totally different. And up here, this white right here, this white is very interesting because this is spray paint white. And then on top of the spray paint, I threw some oil on there to give it like this dimension, like almost like this is like a cloud at night. It gives it like this illusion of thickness in the sky. So we got the blues, the whites, we got a tad bit of yellow up here in the corner too. So this tad bit up here, yellow right here, and a tad bit of yellow down here. So it makes the eye travel from here to here. You just see the yellow. Then in the corners again, you got the blue. You got the spray paint blue again over here. All over here, and it intertwines with the white spray paint over here. So you got both of them hitting each other right there. And you got some sky blue over here. This part is spray paint as well, and then the white over there almost gave it like a grayish outline. And then we threw some black over here. We don't want to put too much black because the bird is black. And once I put this black here, I realized I had to separate the body of the bird with the paint that I had put in the black, because I had put black in the background. So I was like, dag, I don't want this black to look like, it's going to make the bird not look like a bird with this black on the outline and all the black here. So what I did was I made sure I put these feathers and I made them like kind of like whitish grayish. So now it gave that ruffled look. That's where the ruffled nights come in at. Ruffled with a ruffled. Now I had to make it. So this was kind of like a mistake. So I had to make it so it didn't blend in with the background black, because I wanted to keep this background black. And then what I did was, if you follow up here, I put a little black hair up there too as well. So it would be here and here. I like to have the eye travel around the canvas and just see. But then but if you notice here, the corner here, I actually left it black, the whole thing. So it's almost like here he's blended in. So you have to look very closely to see where his body is. It comes around here, this and right over here, but it's so very faint. It almost looks like it's blended in with the black hair. So it's like, and whatever he's standing on is black as well, but it has some little patches of white. So you're not really sure what he's standing on, but it all works together. So yeah, so I would like to go back to this part of the spray paint again real quick. The sky blue spray paint right here, I actually sprayed too much. So it kind of like dripped. I didn't want that at first. But then after I looked at it, I said, wow, this looks pretty cool. It gave it some character. So it looked like I sprayed too much. And then what I did was I put a little bit of acrylic over it, and it just blended really well. I don't know if the camera's catching it, but it dripped a little bit too much. And I was like, oh man, damn. I kind of blew it, but then I didn't. So I really like that part about the painting. It gives it like its own like character. So they say, everything, you might feel like something is a mistake, but it really isn't a mistake. It's just you just doing your thing while you painting. So let's go back towards the body of the bird. Remember, I was telling you guys how I didn't want to make the whole bird black because I had already made up my mind that I wanted this black part right here to stay. So I didn't want it to look like the bird, like the whole thing was the bird's body. So what I did was I made the feathers kind of grayish with a little bit of white in it. Cause you know, most ravens and crows, they're all black. Most of them are all black. So this gave it almost like a different feel, I feel like. And that's what the ruffle part came at. I made it so it looked like it's windy and the feathers were like blowing all over the place. Give it that illusion. As you can see, looked into detail. See the brush strokes. Even towards the neck, I threw in some white there. You know, almost like a silverish gray. Even in the face. Some might say, well, that's, maybe that's like some shadowing, but I didn't even look at it like that because like I said, I'm not that great when it comes to shadowing and stuff like that. But I just felt that I didn't want it to be completely black, and then I do like how I separated the blue from the gray here with this white line. It kind of stands out. It kind of looks like it doesn't belong there, but it actually worked. So I thought that was pretty interesting as well. Now, I'm going to show you guys a few pictures of what this painting looked like without the crown. Without the crown, I'm going to show you in a second, and you're going to go, wow, what a difference that this gold crown made. And even the gold crown, symbolizing, majesty, royalty, very high vibrational. Again, gold is very high vibrational. So you already know that it just gives that, it gave it that majestic look. So let me show you some pictures of Ruffled Nights without the gold crown. Early stages of Ruffled Nights. These are some pictures that I took while working on the painting. I actually unfortunately didn't have any video footage of me working on Ruffled Nights. Like I said in the last episode, a lot of times when I do these paintings that I consider my masterpieces, I'm so zoned out that I really don't take the time to archive them like I should. I need me a photographer, a videographer to help me do that. Now, as you can see here in this picture, you see the bird without the crown, and it does not have the same effect as when the crown is actually put there. And, definitely I've been influenced by Jean-Michel Basquiat to do the crown, but I wanted to do my own crown. And once I did the crown, voila, that just brought it full circle. It just did something to the painting. And here we have Ruffled Nights with that gold crown. It just stood out so much, and it just made the painting so much better than what it was. I just knew that it needed something else to help it, to make it stand out. And the crown and the color gold just did just that. Okay, we flipped the camera back to the painting and me, your boy Midartz. So yes, I just broke down the crown and the medium of this painting. So let's get into like the storyline. As you know, this is not really neoexpressionism, but this is figurative art, animal art, figurative art. So I try to, I know like some of my fellow artists, you try to make sure your paintings have a storyline behind them. Some kind of story. When you look at it, you're not just looking at, you're not just looking at a bird. Clearly, when you look at this painting, to me, there's something, it's speaking to you some kind of way. So, similar to neo-expressionism, you can kind of like, in abstract art, you kind of like make your own interpretation of what you see. But in this particular painting, I feel like there's something there. That's why I called it Ruffled Nights. So you have this raven, which, by the way, ravens are one of the most intelligent animals of the animal kingdom. They're like in the top 10 smartest and most intelligent animals. And they're one of the smartest birds. I think the only bird that might be with the same intellect is the parrot. But other than that, they're like one of the most smartest, fascinating birds that you'll ever come across. And they have a wide range of habitats where they live at. They're almost everywhere except Antarctica, especially across Canada, all the way down to the southern states of the United States of America. And they're in Asia and Africa. They're everywhere. So they adapt very well. But we'll get more into that in a second. But one of the things I want to talk about is how this painting, it tells a story. Ruffled Nights. Now, the background gives you an illusion of, that's outside. That was crazy. It's snowing out here, and the tractor just went by, and that was really crazy. It startled me for a second. But back to scheduled programming. The background gives you like this night feel. That's why I did the colors blue, black, purple. So it gives it like that night look. But I also threw, like I said, I threw a little bit of yellow in there too. So it kind of like offsets it. I just did that because of the crown. Just wanted a little something to blend in with that, but not too much because I wanted the crown to stand out, which I did. So the background is night, but then his wings look like there's wind blowing on them. So as you look at his face, you see that he's looking at something. You see he's on top of a cliff. He's on top of some kind of cliff or mountain. He's overseeing his area, wherever his nest is, or her nest. It could be a female. I don't know whether it's a male or female. It's up to you to interpret whether it's a male crow or a female crow. There's not much to what I know. There's not much difference between a male and female crow. They look pretty much the same. But it's overseeing its home. But it's looking at something it's looking at, something is bothering it, something is telling it that there's ahead, there's some kind of trouble, or there's something going on that's not right. And it's been going on for a while through the night. So it's got him flustered. It's got him worried, or like just intensely watching whatever's out there somewhere, or whatever's coming, or whatever. There's something going on that's not right. So what is it? Now that's up to you to explore and create the storyline of what's actually making him flustered and ruffling his feathers. And usually when they say ruffling your feathers, it's a like expression like somebody's pushing you or messing around with you. So what's bothering this raven? You let me know. You can make your own storyline in the comments. Let me know how you feel, what you're interpreting through this painting. Also, what I want to talk about real quick, I'm not going to take a deep dive into it, but when it comes to these birds, these birds are worldwide birds. The raven, it's a worldwide bird, so there's a lot of different, not interpretations, but a lot of different aspects of how people look at these birds. For instance, these birds are heavily into mythology in different parts of the countries, different parts of the world. Like they, some consider them like they carry souls to the afterlife. They are omens of fortune and prosperity, and some of them are the opposite, omens of bad luck and death. So there's a lot that goes on with these birds. Like some Asian mythology, they're like connected to the sun, and the Vikings have used crows for different things. And even in the Bible, the Book of Kings, they were food provided for the prophet Elijah during his time of exile. So there's a lot that goes on with these birds. The Greeks, ravens were messengers for them for Apollo. And even in Hinduism, these birds are considered the god of karma. So there's a lot of things that the raven symbolizes all throughout the world. And here in America, in the Western Hemisphere, they're considered tricksters and manipulators. It's just a lot of folklore behind ravens. So this is a very interesting bird to even do a painting on. So that's another thing that when you look at Ruffled Nights, you see a raven. But wait, before we get any further, one thing that I had a conversation with a multitude of people when I showed this painting at Upfront Exhibition Space was this a raven or a crow? Because, ravens and crows look very similar, but they're also different too. Ravens are bigger, and I think crows live longer. The intelligence level is about the same. They're pretty much the same intelligence level, very high IQ for an animal. But some people argue with me whether this was a raven or a crow, because there are some similarities and there are some differences, and especially even in mythology, there's some similarities and differences as well. But when I made this painting, I was aiming for a raven. So you let me know in the comments if you think this is a raven or a crow. I say raven. I've had some people tell me it was a crow. I remember one gentleman, he said, I raise crows and this is definitely a crow. But then I had another person like, no, this is definitely a raven. So that was interesting as well too. That's another talking point, conversation piece. That's important to have your art to be a conversation piece. So that was another conversation piece with this painting, whether it was a raven or a crow. People ask me, I say raven. Some people think it's a crow. You let me know in the comments what you think it looks like, more like a raven or a crow. There are some similarities. There are some differences in a crow and a raven. So you let me know. So, in my closing of this episode, I just want to say, ravens are a beautiful animal. They are very intelligent, majestic. And I just want to say thank you to those who actually came to see this work of mine when it was featured at the Bank Art Gallery in Newburgh this past summer, late summer, at the show called Empire of the Gods, and also when it was in Upfront Exhibition Space in the summertime for the summer show. It was there as well. It's a beautiful piece. It's up for sale. Well, sale as in you can purchase it. If you would like to purchase this painting, you have to contact your boy Midartz, of course, and gotta talk to me nice, because this ain't going for cheap. This is one of the big boys right here, so you already know you're gonna have to pull out that checkbook. You know what I'm saying? Couple of zeros right there. But this is one of my masterpieces. I really love this painting a lot. Ruffled Nights, made last year. And thank you for sitting here with me for episode 2. Make sure you like and subscribe to my channel for more updates and more videos, more entertainment, more art talk. And I will see you for episode 3.
This has been episode 2, Ruffled Nights.